I'm Mar, and once again, this is my opinion. As many of you know, I've been a fan of anime for almost 3 decades. I've grown up watching anime such as Sailor Moon, Samurai Pizza Cats, Metabots, Pokemon, at least the first couple seasons, and more recently, I've been watching shows such as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, another anime that I've always been a fan of is Digimon. There was that time period in the 2000s where I wasn't watching it mainly because it was only on sporadically, and for some weird reason, Disney XD never showed all the episodes, so I was never able to fully watch all the show, which is one minor problem on my end, is that I never got to watch every episode in a row. And I believe for the first couple seasons, there's still a few episodes I haven't seen in the proper order, so it's like, what's happening? What's going on? Oh, that's what's going on. First season, I wouldn't say it's full on classic, but it is close. Second season, while flawed, is good. Third season's probably my favorite of the first three. I'd have to rewatch them again to see what my adult thoughts are. Four, I like the concept. I didn't watch all the episodes, so there are still some plot elements that I was a little confused on, but I liked it. After that, I stopped watching it, mainly because it took a couple more years for them to do another one, and by the time it came back, I'm like, yeah, maybe not. So it's one of those things that one day down the road I'll have to watch the new seasons. When I heard that they were going to be doing another Digimon project cinematically, and it was going to be a continuation of the original storyline, I was hyped, like a lot of my fellow Digimon fans, like, ooh, this is going to be good. The news as it was being broken was a little confusing, because it's like, it's called Digimon Tri, and yet they're saying it's a direct sequel to the first one. Alright, then I heard news, oh no, it's going to be a sequel to the first two. Interesting. Yet they're only showing the original Digidestins. This should have been my first red flag for my major issue with Digimon Tri. Because as of right now, I have watched every episode that has been localized at least once. And I still like the first episode. I mean, everything that I've said in my review of it is still standing true. The only other thing I forgot to touch on was how they handle damage control. And I do like that it actually is a part of the story, at least with Tai, that he's worried that their Digimon could be causing as much damage as the enemy ones, which is what causes Omnimon to fall apart when he does. But as the episodes go on, my one big flaw, my one big problem becomes apparent. And that is, it gives the finger to Adventure 2. Like I said, Adventure 2 is not a perfect sequel. It has its issues. But here's the thing. Either fully ignore it and make this a direct sequel to the first one and call it Tri just for marketing purposes, or do what you did, make it a direct sequel and actually include the characters. Because this is the one thing that really is annoying me about it, and that is no Digimon Adventure 2 characters. The closest we've gotten thus far is Genai cosplaying as the Digimon Emperor. Now, some of the characters have been mentioned, and at first, it's like, okay, I can see they're out of town, so maybe that's why they're not having it. But as it's going on, it's like, okay, this is not becoming a good excuse. And then we find out that they've been kidnapped by the main villains and are essentially in a stasis. And I saw that, I'm like, what? You would think that the other Digidestins would notice this, at least TK and Kari, if not the older ones. I know sometimes friends grow apart a little bit, but something like that, with it being only maybe a year or two after Adventure 2, they should have noticed this. So, for that to be the case, and for none of them to notice this, that's a big problem. And that is my major issue plot-wise. I mean, there's some other little minor nitpicks, like Seraphimon being an afterthought when he pops out, but my main issue with it, and it kind of pulls me out of the universe a tad, but I'm able to keep myself in it because of my enjoyment and my nostalgic connection to the Digimon series. But it's one thing that as I watched them, I'm like, nope. And I have a feeling when I get around to rewatching them to actually review them, which I'll probably do after the last part comes out, and I'll watch that one independently, then I'll marathon the rest of them to get a more current opinion on it. But that is my major flaw, and I have a feeling I'm not the only one. I've seen some of my fellow anime friends have a problem with it. I know one of them reviewed, gave her thoughts on the last episode, so I have a feeling I'm going to have one problem with it. If I had just fixed that problem, Digimon Tri could have been a lot more than what it is. And what it is already is it's pretty big. It's making money, both in Japan and here. Here, it's a little bit of double dipping with the one night theatrical release, then quickly on video, and both DVD and Blu-ray. I buy the Blu-ray because I want 2 copies plus the digital copy. They had included that, the story would be much better. And I know that there are people that are not a fan of the Adventure 2 story, whether because of the little issues I remember that even as a kid I noticed, but I'll probably notice it more as an adult, or you don't really like the characters. That's fine. But like I said earlier, either go all the way, make it a full-on sequel, or actually ignore it. Don't go the halfway. Don't try to have your cake and eat it too, because what you get is a major story problem. I'm Mar, and this has been my opinion. If you guys looking forward to more videos, will be coming out of the pipe. I'll be having a Dark Tower related video coming up pretty soon. If you guys are on my subscriber list, be sure to push that little button, because the whole thing with the algorithm has been killing videos lately, and essentially YouTube is giving the finger to the people that use it, which I never understand. That could be a topic for a video on its own.